Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Persons represented: Escalus, Prince of Verona, read by David Muncaster. Paris, a young nobleman, kinsman to the prince, read by M.B. Montague, read by Chris Hughes, and Capulet, read by Andy Minter, heads of two houses at variance with each other. An old man, uncle to Capulet, read by Alan Davis Drake. Romeo, son to Montague, read by Simon Taylor. Mercutio, kinsman to the prince and friend to Romeo, read by Andrew Lebrun. Benvolio, nephew to Montague and friend to Romeo, read by David Nichol. Tybalt, nephew to Lady Capulet, read by Joshua B. Christensen. Friar Lawrence, our Franciscan, read by Alan Davis Drake. Friar John, of the same order, read by Sean McKinley. Balthazar, servant to Romeo, read by Scott D. Farquhar. Samson, servant to Capulet, read by Esther. Gregory, servant to Capulet, read by David O'Connell. Peter, servant to Juliet's nurse, read by Jacina. Abraham, servant to Montague, read by Caliban. An apothecary, read by Lucy Perry. Three musicians, read by Laurie Ann Walden, Ohm 123, and Aaron Walden. Chorus, read by Ancilla. Page to Paris, read by C. J. Nowak. Lady Montague, wife to Montague, read by Christy Nowak. Lady Capulet, wife to Capulet, read by Corey Samuel. Juliet, daughter to Capulet, read by Elizabeth Klett. Nurse to Juliet, read by Kristen Hughes. Servants to Capulet, read by Abigail Bartels and Lizzie Driver. Three Watchmen, read by Caliban, Jacina, and Bravery. Citizens, read by Rice Lawson and Laurie Ann Walden. Stage directions, read by David Lawrence. The Prologue of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Enter chorus.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Exit. End of Prologue. Act 1 of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 1. Scene 1. A public place. Enter Samson and Gregory, armed with swords and bucklers.
Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be chollers.
I mean, an we be in collar, we'll draw.
Ay, while ye live, draw your neck out of the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runn'st away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters, and us their men.
'Tis all one, I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids. I will cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Ay, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it.
Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run?
Fear me not.
No, marry, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is disgrace to them if they bear it.
Enter Abraham and Balthazar.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But if you do, sir, am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw, if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
They fight. Enter Benvolio.
Part, fools! Put up your swords! You know not what you do!
Beats down their swords. Enter Tybalt.
What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
They fight. Enter several of both houses, who join the fray. Then enter citizens with clubs.
Clubs, bills, and partisans, strike, beat them down. Down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues.
Enter Capulet in his gown, and Lady Capulet.
What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho!
A crutch, a crutch. Why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say. Old Montague is come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Enter Montague and his Lady Montague.
Thou villain, Capulet, hold me not, let me go.
Thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe.
Enter Prince with attendants.
Rebellious.
Did menace me with death if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay then. I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill unlucky thing.
As I did sleep under this yew tree here, I dreamt my master and another fought, and that my master slew him.
Romeo!
Advances.
Alack, alack! What blood is this which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discoloured by this palace of peace?
Enters the monument.
Romeo, oh pale! Who else? What? Paris too? And steeped in blood? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance! The lady stirs.
Juliet wakes and stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
Noise within.
I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come, come away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet.
Noise within.
I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away.
Exit Friar Lawrence.
What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. O churl, drunk all, and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips, Haply some poison yet doth hang on them to make me die with a restorative.
Kisses him.
Thy lips are warm.
Within.
Lead, boy. Which way?
Yea, noise. Then I'll be brief. O happy dagger!
Snatching Romeo's dagger.
This is thy sheath.
Stabs herself.
There rest, and let me die.
Falls on Romeo's body and dies. Enter Watch with the Page of Paris.
This is the place, there where the torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, where you find a tatch.
Exit some of the Watch.
Oh, pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead, who here hath lain these 2 days buried. Go, tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues, some others search.
Exit others of the Watch.
We see the ground whereon these woes do lies, but the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot without circumstance descry.
Re-enter some of the Watch with Balthazar.
Here's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in safety till the prince come hither.
Re-enter others of the Watch with Friar Lawrence.
Here is a friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took this mattock and this spade from him, as he was coming from this churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
Enter Prince and attendants.
What misadventure is so early up, that calls our person from our morning's rest?
Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, and others.
What should it be that they so shriek abroad?
The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument.
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here is a friar, and slaughtered Romeo's man, with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh, heaven! Oh, wife! Look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath misstained her. Lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and it missheathed in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me, this sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Enter Montague and others.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead to-night. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
O thou untaught! What manners is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make against me, of this direful murder. And here I stand, both to impeach and purge myself condemned, and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose ultimate death banished the new-made bridegroom from this city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed, and would have married her perforce to county Paris. Then she comes to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some means to rid her of this second marriage, or In my cell there would she kill herself. Then gave her eye, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo that he should hither come as this dire night, to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the potion's force should cease. But he who bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell, till I conveniently could send to Romeo. And when I came, some minute ere the time of her waking, here untimely lay the noble Paris, and true Romeo dead. She awakes, and I entreat her, come forth, and bear this work of heaven with patience. And then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she too, desperate, would not go with me, but as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my own life be sacrificed, some hour before his time, unto the rigour of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault. I departed not, and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look on it. Where is the county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my master drew on him. And then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes, that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal come to this vault to die, and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies, Capulet, Montague? See what scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show its head. Go hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Exeunt. End of Act 5. End of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare.